Alright, what's going on guys? It's GCP here, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about the latest patch that came today, that dropped today, patch 1.09. And there is a lot of stuff that they fixed in this game, but was this the long-awaited overhaul that we were waiting most for to be able to have a much better experience in this game? Because we keep telling ourselves that this game has a lot of potential, which it does. There's just a few fixes that this game needs to be able to become a much better experience. And did this patch deliver in that department? Unfortunately, no, it didn't. And honestly, I'm very disappointed. Very disappointed that this patch did not address those issues, because the community has been asking for these issues to be addressed and to be fixed, so that way we would have a more enjoyable time. And unfortunately, this did not happen. So one of the things that we have been crying out for is to make Dead Silence a perk. Dead Silence needs to become a perk. Why in the first place was it taken out of the perk slot? I have no idea. But we were telling the developers that you need to make this, field upgrade into a perk. It should have never come out of the perk. And what did they do? Well, they did make a fix to Dead Silence, and I'm going to read you guys exactly what they did with Dead Silence, which again to me makes no sense. They said they made a fix for Dead Silence, field upgrade not lasting the correct amount of time when CDL rules are enabled. So how does that help us, the rest of us? It doesn't. It really doesn't. Does that address the fact that Dead Silence is a perk? No, they kept it in the field upgrade for whatever reason. They didn't want to listen to us. So no, we didn't get that change. So that's unfortunate. Another thing that we were having huge issues with were the footsteps. Footsteps being super loud, hearing your own footsteps while you're walking or running, all that stuff. That stuff wasn't addressed, but they did do something with footsteps, and I'm going to read you guys exactly what they did with the footsteps. They said that they adjusted volume and sound type, played for crouch walk, and walking while aiming down sights. Now, adjusted could mean increased or decreased. They don't specify what that adjustment was. Now, you want to be very specific, Infinity Ward, with what type of adjustment you're doing when making these fixes. We don't know. We don't know whether they've increased them or decreased them. I don't know. I hope you decrease them. I hope you decrease them. All of us are hoping that you decrease the footsteps overall, but this is what they say. They say that they just made adjustments to crouch walk and walking while aiming down sights only. They don't say that they've adjusted walking just by yourself, or running, or sprinting, or double timing. They don't say anything regarding that. And they don't even specify, again, like I said before, what type of adjustment they made to this aiming down sight or crouch walking. For all we could know, or for all we know, it could have been, increased. I mean, you know what I mean? They don't specify that they've decreased them. Adjusting could mean anything. So when you're addressing the community, when you're making these patch notes, it would be helpful to know whether or not, you've increased or decreased them. You just want to be able to be as accurate as possible. So I'm actually very disappointed that they did not decrease, or they didn't specify that they decreased the overall footstep volume, because it is really, really annoying. And I'm going to state again that when you're holding down a spot, even distinguishing whether or not it's your enemy or teammates' footsteps is something that is a huge problem in this game. And people who are camping, people who are just waiting for people to enter a spot on the map, or a building, or a choke point, they are obviously sound whoring, waiting for you to come through. They're listening for those loud footsteps. And if you're unfortunate enough not to have Dead Silence on at that time, there's literally almost nothing you can do to be able to hide, or to be able to get away from the footsteps being heard. And honestly, they didn't address this. It doesn't seem like they're addressing it at all. And there was a latest internal patch that was found, or internal note that was found, that even though the developers are aware of the fact that footsteps are a huge problem, they're not going to address them. There's no fix for them. Which is like, okay, why? You know what I mean? Like, why in the world would you acknowledge them but not do anything to fix them? That makes no sense. Like, why are you not listening to the community? Another thing is skill-based matchmaking. Skill-based matchmaking is something that I'm sure a lot of you guys are against. I think there's very few people out there who really enjoy skill-based matchmaking for whatever reason. But skill-based matchmaking is something, if you guys have noticed, every single time it comes up to the developers, or every time we tweet at the developers or we ask them about skill-based matchmaking, their lips are sealed. Nothing. They don't reply to it. They don't address it. They don't do anything with it. Along with the footsteps, the skill-based matchmaking is something that caters to noobs. And it seems like the developers, Infinity Ward or maybe Activision, wants to keep this in the game. They want to cater to noobs. And honestly, it's very, very annoying, because a lot of us want these fixes, a lot of us want these changes made to the game, but the core issues, like the ones that I stated, are not being addressed. And I don't know why. I really, really don't know why. That's the most frustrating thing about this whole thing. It's not being addressed. So I'm actually just very disappointed. Very disappointed in Infinity Ward, very disappointed in the developers, and also very disappointed with this whole experience so far. One of the things that I have noticed with all of these fixes is that these games are not being finished when they drop. This whole yearly COD cycle needs to stop. Even though I'm sure Modern Warfare had more than a year, it's just rushed. It seems very rushed. These games are not properly play tested. All of these glaring issues and bugs and glitches that these games are having when they're coming out nowadays are way too much. It's only because these games are being rushed. They're not being given enough time to be able to become polished, to be able to kink out, some of these glaring issues and problems. And I really don't blame the developers that much, because it does come from the top. Activision is obviously the one who makes the decision on all of these yearly releases. So until they stop the yearly releases, and they stop rushing these developers and the development studios, these issues will keep coming. These will always be a problem in these Call of Duty games. So honestly, I just want to say that if these issues are not brought up, if they're not voiced, if the Call of Duty community is not listened to, then these games are gonna keep coming out with all of these core issues and glitches and bugs, and it's just not gonna be a good experience for us. We're gonna keep complaining because these issues are gonna keep happening. So honestly, I'm just very disappointed. I thought that the overhaul, if this is indeed the overhaul that we were all waiting for, it really did not deliver the way that we wanted it to. So honestly, I just don't even know what to say, man. I don't know at this point in time what hope Modern Warfare has left, if any, but I guess we'll just have to see. But anyways, let me know your guys' thoughts down below. How do you guys feel about this patch? Did it deliver for you, or did it not? But anyways, let me know all of that down below. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you guys hit that like button. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. With that being said, this is GCP, signing off.